This is a part 2 of mathematical physics. Basic concept of matrix. This is a general form of representation of a matrix. Here this horizontal elements denotes rows and vertical elements denotes column. And in general form we can write matrix A equal to Aij. Now types of matrix with respect to their size. First is row matrix. This is a basic representation of a row matrix. And second is column matrix. We can write column matrix like that. This is the order of 3 into 1. Now rectangular matrix. Rectangular matrix are two types. First one is vertical matrix. This is an example of vertical matrix. Here you can see that number of rows is greater than number of columns, and this is for horizontal matrix. We can write this is a order of 2 into 3 matrix. Here you can see here number of rows is less than number of columns. Now square matrix, a matrix which can be represented in the order of n into n. This is a general matrix of order n into n. Here these are called principal diagonal elements. Now type of matrix with respect to virtue. Number 1 is null matrix or zero matrix. If a matrix A is equal to Aij of order m into n, Aij is equal to 0, means there's no, all elements of the matrix are 0. For any order. Now diagonal matrix. This type of matrix is called diagonal matrix, in which only diagonal elements are not 0. These are diagonal elements. Now scalar matrix. If diagonal elements are equal, let us consider a general example. Of a order of 3 into 3. Here k is any arbitrary constant. You can see here every scalar matrix is diagonal matrix. Now unit or identity matrix, it represented as I is equal to matrix of order 2 into 2. This is called identity matrix of order 2 or and this is a identity matrix of order 3 into 3. In scalar matrix, if k is equal to 1, then we can say that scalar matrix, or also called identity matrix. Now property of identity matrix. If we multiply any matrix with identity matrix, we get the same matrix. Similarly, if we multiply identity matrix with any matrix, we get the same matrix. For as you can see, I raised to power n is equal to I, because identity matrix determinant is equal to 1. If we take 1 raised to power n, which is equal to 1, if we take inverse of identity matrix, it always identity matrix, and their determinant also is identity matrix, which is equal to 1. Now triangular matrix. Triangular matrix are two types: upper triangular matrix and lower triangular matrix. In the upper triangular matrix, elements below the diagonal elements are 0. As you see in this example. Similarly, for lower triangular matrix, elements above the main diagonals are 0. As you can see. Now determinant. A is a matrix of order n into n. Determinant can be denoted by determinant of A or like magnitude of A symbol. Now their property. The value of a determinant doesn't change on interchange rows or column. If we do interchange of any row or any column, the value of determinant is multiplied by -1. Now if determinant of k into matrix A is equal to k raised to power n determinant A, where n is the order of the matrix. Now in this property, you can see here, in a determinant, the sum of the product of elements of any rows or column with cofactor corresponding elements of any row or column is equal to the determinant value. Here A11, A12 and this A1n are the cofactor of the matrix A, and these small a11, a12 and a1n are the rows element of the matrix A. Similarly, we can do for column a11, small a11, a21 and an1 are the elements of the column, and a11, a21 and an1 are cofactor of the matrix A. Similarly, if in a determinant the sum of the product of elements of any row or column with the cofactor of corresponding element of other rows or column is 0, it means if we can multiply the elements of matrix A with their cofactor matrix elements, it's equal to 0. Now other important property of determinants is if the elements of a row or column of a determinant are added m times the corresponding elements of other row or column, the value of determinant obtained equal to the value of original determinant. It is valid for only the order of n into n matrix. Now application of determinant. For finding area of triangle, we use the property of determinant. Now singular matrix. For identification of a singular matrix determinant is equal to 0, and for non-singular matrix determinant does not equal to 0. Now related matrix. Related matrix are of two types. First is submatrix. For example, if a matrix A is equal to this, the submatrix of A are and so on. Here this is called submatrix. Now transpose of a matrix. Transpose of a matrix is denoted by these symbols. We can use any symbols for transpose of a matrix. For example, A transpose is equal to 1, 2, 3. Here this is the transpose of this matrix. Now properties of transpose of a matrix. If we take transpose of if we take transpose of already transposed matrix, it equal to matrix which was the initial matrix. If P plus Q transpose, we get P transpose plus Q transpose. Similarly, if we take the transpose of K into P equal to K star P transpose, this star comes because K being any complex number. And another important property of transpose of a matrix is this: if we take the transpose of P and Q matrix is equal to Q transpose P transpose. Now, adjoint of a matrix, A is a square matrix of order n into n, then their transpose is equal to the then their adjoint is equal to the transpose of the cofactor matrix Cij. Now, the properties. This is most important property of transpose of a matrix. Adjoint of a matrix. A dot adjoint of A is equal to determinant A into identity matrix is equal to adjoint A dot matrix A. If we take determinant of adjoint A equal to the determinant of A raised to power n minus 1. Similarly, if we do for like that, adjoint up to so on, adjoint A determinant is equal to the determinant of A raised to power n minus 1 raised to power r. If determinant does not equal to 0, then using this equation with this relation, we divide both sides by determinant of A, we get this. Now this is important relation because this type of question come in various exam like JAM and NET. Now, adjoint of transpose of A is equal to adjoint A transpose. Now, inverse of a matrix. For a square matrix, A inverse is equal to adjoint A divided by determinant A. If A and B are non-singular square matrix of order n into n and they are inverse of each other, then we can use this identity. A into B is equal to I. As we know that if we take A inverse A or A into A inverse equal to I, identity matrix. This is an important property of identity, inverse matrix. Now, if A and B are the square matrix of order n into n, then the product of A into B matrix is invertible if both are non-singular matrix. If they so, then AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Similarly, if we have A to Z matrix, then we can use this relation of this inverse. We get Z inverse, Y inverse, X inverse, up to so on, D inverse, C inverse, B inverse, A inverse. If we take any already inverse of another matrix which is already in an inverse, like that, we get the matrix A. Transpose of A inverse is equal to A inverse transpose, and this is for only the order of 2 into 2 matrix. If we have a matrix A which is this A B C D, then their inverse, if we find using the formula of A inverse, is equal to determinant of A into adjoint of A, we get this. On comparing this, we can write this 1 by determinant A of adjoint of A. Now some special matrix, skew symmetric matrix. If we take transpose of a matrix A, then it's come matrix A. It means the elements of ith row and j column, which is equal to AJI, means like, for example, if I is 2 and j is 3, we can write here, let's take a journal matrix notation of order 3 into 3. Here you clearly see that the element A23 is equal to A32. Similarly, for A11, A21 is equal to A12. Here I does not equal to J. For skew symmetric matrix, the elements for example A23 is equal to A32. If we take transpose of symmetric matrix, we get minus sign on the symmetric or skew symmetric matrix. Here their diagonal elements are 0 or either purely imaginary. Now this is the important relation for a square matrix. We can write a square matrix in the form of this symmetric matrix and skew symmetric matrix. Now orthogonal matrix. A square matrix is said to be orthogonal matrix if the product of a matrix and its transpose is an identity matrix. Here you can see here A transpose is equal to A transpose A equal to I, identity matrix. It can contain imaginary terms but diagonal elements are real. Now if we take matrix A inverse, which is equal to the A transpose, it is a property of orthogonal matrix. If A is an orthogonal matrix, then their determinant is equal to plus minus 1. If A is an orthogonal matrix, then product of matrix A with their transpose matrix A is equal to the A transpose A, which is equal to identity matrix I. Using this property, if A and B are orthogonal matrix, then the product of AB and their transpose is equal to identity matrix. Now conjugate of a matrix, it is similar like as we do in complex number. If we take conjugate of a z, we get x minus iota y. Similarly, for conjugate matrix, matrix A is equal to if we take conjugate of this matrix, and this is represented by A bar. Here you can see there is a iota term present. Similarly, for we doing in a complex number, only the symbol of where the iota is present is changed. Similarly for the matrix also, so we can write here like that. Now their properties, if we take a conjugate of a matrix A 2 times, it will equal to matrix A, and if we take a conjugate of A plus B matrix, we can write conjugate of matrix A plus conjugate of matrix B. If K is any real or imaginary number, maybe, so we can say arbitrary, with the product of matrix A and if we take their conjugate, it will equal to K star conjugate of matrix A. We can write similarly for AB conjugate equal to conjugate of A and conjugate of B, so into conjugate of B. If A is real, it means there is no imaginary term present in the matrix. We can write conjugate of matrix A is equal to A. If there is an imaginary term, we can write conjugate of matrix A is equal to minus A. Now transpose conjugate or transjugate. Transpose conjugate is represented by this A conjugate and transpose symbol, or like we can represent like that, A transpose and then conjugate. Or For easy to use, we use a dagger for represent transpose conjugate. Now these are the property. If we take A transpose and then their transpose equal to A plus B transpose dagger is equal to A dagger plus B dagger. Similarly, that we use in conjugate of a matrix, we write K star A conjugate. Similarly, we can write in a transposed conjugate of a matrix K A dagger is equal to K star A dagger. Now if A and B are non-singular matrix, then their product of transpose conjugate is equal to B transpose or B conjugate transpose A conjugate transpose. Similarly, if we have a matrix having a power n and if we take their transpose conjugate, then it's equal to, then we can interchange this dagger and power n. Now unitary matrix. A square matrix is said to be unitary matrix if this condition will satisfy by the matrix. If we take in this formula both or dagger both side, transpose, we get this equation. If A and B are unitary matrix, then A and B are also unitary matrix. So we can write here AB into AB transpose is equal to I, identity matrix. If A is a unitary matrix, then A inverse also unitary matrix. So we can write here A inverse dagger is O into A inverse equal to A inverse dagger equal to identity matrix. Now Hermitian matrix. If we take a dagger of any matrix is equal to matrix A, this dagger is called conjugate transpose or transpose conjugate or transjugate. Property of Hermitian matrix. If we take conjugate of the element of a matrix A like that, A transpose Ij equal to Aj. It means if we take a transpose of A 2 3 element of the matrix equal to the A 3 2 elements, their all principal diagonals are real. If we take a conjugate of their principal diagonals equal to the same value, this is an important relation. Now skew Hermitian matrix. If we take a dagger of a matrix A equal to minus of matrix A, now their properties. If A is a square matrix, then for skew Hermitian matrix we can write aij conjugate equal to minus aji. For skew Hermitian matrix, if we take conjugate of element a23 equal to the minus the element a32. Most important property of skew Hermitian matrix is all diagonal elements are zero or must be purely imaginary number, and the sum of their diagonal element is zero. That means trace of skew Hermitian matrix is zero. Here trace of any matrix is equal to sum of its diagonal elements. If now idempotent matrix, a matrix for a square matrix, if we take a square of a matrix A equal to A, this is satisfied by the condition for that matrix called idempotent matrix. If product of matrix A and B is equal to product of matrix B A, then we can write here, if we take their square is equal to AB. This is only true for if A and B both are idempotent matrix of same order. Now involuntary matrix, for a square matrix, if we take a square of the matrix A equal to identity matrix. Now property of involuntary matrix, identity matrix is always involuntary matrix. As you can see from this relation, if A is involuntary matrix, then this condition will satisfy by the matrix. If not, then A does not involuntary matrix. Now periodic matrix, this relation will satisfy by, if this relation is satisfied the matrix, then we can say A is a periodic matrix. If n is equal to 1, periodic matrix become idempotent matrix. So we can say that every idempotent matrix is called periodic matrix. Now nilpotent matrix, if we take any value of k more than 1 is equal to 0. Now system of linear equation, it is represented by Ax equal to b. If the system is said to be consistent, then system of equation has one or more solution, means rank of A equal to rank of C. Inconsistent system, for unique solution, rank of A equal to rank of C equal to order n. This is the order of a matrix. Now infinite solution, rank of A equal to rank of C equal to R. If R is less than to the order of matrix, then it's said to be inconsistent system and having infinite solution. there are two types of system: homogeneous and non-homogeneous system. If a system of a linear equation ax equal to b is called homogeneous system. If b equal to 0, it means ax equal to 0 for homogeneous. Similarly, for non-homogeneous system, b does not equal to 0, then this equation represent non-homogeneous system. There are various methods for solving this system. Now, method for solving non-homogeneous system: Cramer's rule, matrix method, rank method. Now, in a Cramer rules, these three equations are a general equation. a1x plus b1y plus c1z equal to d1. a2x plus b2y plus c2z is equal to d2. a3x plus b3y plus c3z equal to d3. According to Cramer rules, x equal to determinant x divided by determinant d. And similarly for y and z, for finding determinant value of d, these are the general representation of Cramer rule to find the value of x, y and z. For dx, we remove this part from d and write here d1, d2, d3. And similarly for dy, we erase the middle part b1, b2, b3 and write d1, d2, d3. And similarly for dz. Now, another method is matrix method. For m equal to n matrix, case 1, if determinant a does not equal to 0, then the system is consistent and having unique solution. Case 2, if determinant is equal to 0 and adjoint a into b equal to 0, then system is consistent and having infinite many solution. Now case 3, if determinant a equal to 0 but adjoint a into b does not equal to 0, then the system is called inconsistent. Now another method, rank method. This is a basic representation of non-homogeneous system, and this is a general matrix representation of a matrix A, and this is a X matrix which having a transpose, and this is a matrix B having a transpose of matrix B. So in this method we used augmented matrix. Here this is a general representation of augmented matrix. Here this represent matrix A and this is a matrix B. Case 1, when m is greater than n, rank of augmented matrix is equal to rank of A ratio B augmented matrix equal to n, order of the matrix. If this come, then the system having unique solution. If rank of A equal to rank of augmented matrix AB, then equal to R, means R is less than to the order of matrix n, so they called infinite number of solution. If rank of A does not equal to rank of augmented matrix, then the system is called inconsistent. Case second, when m is less than n and rank of A equal to rank of augmented matrix AB equal to R. Here R is less than equal to m and m is less than n. In this case we say that this is infinite number of solution. Now third method is rank of matrix. It is a number which tell you about some specific nature of matrix. Determinant of A does not equal to 0. It means rank is equal to n, order of matrix. If for example determinant B is equal to 0, then their rank does not equal to order of the matrix, then their rank is less than order of matrix. Example, if B is equal to this and their determinant is equal to 0, then to find the rank of the matrix then to find the rank of a matrix, then find submatrix, like that. These are the submatrix of this matrix. If determinant of submatrix B also is 0, then again go for submatrix or up to single digit. If all digit is equal to 0, then there is no rank. If any one equal to or does not equal to 0, then rank equal to 1. Now homogeneous system of equation. There are two methods, matrix method and rank method. In a matrix method, this is the general equation for homogeneous system. Ax is equal to 0. Case 1, if determinant of A does not equal to 0, in this case x equal to 0, it means x1 equal to x2 up to so on xn equal to 0. If this condition occur, then this is called trivial solution. Case second, when determinant A is equal to 0, then it's said to be infinite many solution. In this case, rank of a matrix is equal to R. Now second method of homogeneous system, rank method. Case first, if rank of matrix A equal to n number of variables, then Ax equal to 0. For this condition, this is called unique solution. X equal to 0 and x1 equal to x2 up to so on xn equal to 0 is called trivial solution. Now case second, if rank of matrix A is equal to R less than 2 number of variable, means order of the matrix, then this is a condition of infinite number of solution or non-trivial solution. Now this is a very important theorem, because the question based on this theorem come every time in various exam, TFR, JEST, NET, GATE. Now this is the characteristic equation. On expansion we can write this, and their matrix equation is this. If this equation, matrix equation, satisfy x equal to a, then this equal to this, a raised to power n a1 a raised to power n minus 1 plus a2 a raised to power n minus 2 up to an in equal to 0. Now eigenvalue and eigenvector, this is a characteristic equation and their roots is called eigenvalues and represented by lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3 up to so on lambda n. Now this is the characteristic vector equation. In this equation, x is characteristic vector or eigenvector of matrix A. Now properties of eigenvalues. If we sum all the eigenvalues equal to the sum of principal diagonal element or trace of a matrix, if we do their product of eigenvalue equal to the determinant of A, if this is an important property of eigenvalue, if lambda is the eigenvalue of A, if we take the A inverse of the matrix, then their eigenvalue equal to 1 by lambda. If lambda 1, lambda 2 up to lambda n are the eigenvalues of matrix A, then for matrix A raised to power n, eigenvalues become lambda 1 raised to power n, lambda 2 raised to power n up to lambda m raised to power n. Here lambda for square symmetric matrix are always real, and similarly for skew symmetric matrix either 0 or imaginary. Now trace of a matrix. Trace of a matrix is equal to sum of diagonal elements. Now in summation form we can write trace of a matrix A equal to this summation ai, where I is equal to 1 up to m, and this is ai equal to a11 plus a22 up to amm. These are the diagonal elements of the matrix. Trace of a matrix we can write as a sum of eigenvalues. These are important properties of trace of a matrix. Trace of lambda A equal to lambda trace A. Trace of A plus B equal to trace of A plus trace B. Similarly for trace A minus B equal to trace of A minus trace of B. And we can write trace of AB equal to trace of BA. And this is most important property of eigenvalue, so trace of a matrix. This type of question come in TIFR, so JEST, JAM. So this is very important. Here you can see trace of ABCD is equal to trace of BCDA, trace of CDA and trace of DABC. Here you can see there is a cyclic order ABCD, BCDA and CDAB and DABC, and this is very important formula. Determinant of exponential E, and this is M is a matrix equal to exponential trace of matrix M. Now normalized eigenvector. We have a vector V which we can write like that in the vector form ijk or in matrix form we can write this as normalized means unit vector. So normally, just like we find the unit vector, we find normalized matrix in this. This is a, as we know, this is a unit vector formula. Magnitude of vector v is equal to this. So in normalized form we can write v is equal to 1 by magnitude of v into matrix v1 v2 v3. Now this is very important relation, diagonalized matrix. D is a diagonalized matrix and we can write P inverse AP, and this is very important formula. A raised to power m equal to P D A raised to power m P inverse. Let's do some question on this topic. Given a symmetric matrix having eigenvalues 0, 1 and 3, we need to find a raised to power 4, and given is matrix P. For writing the we using a m is equal to P inverse. Now we are using this identity for getting a raised to power 4. M is equal to 4, so this equation become this. Diagonalized matrix, D is diagonalized matrix. As we know that diagonalized matrix having property, it having only diagonal elements, and in the question given eigenvalues, so we can write diagonal matrix A raised to power 4 is equal to this, and using the property of A inverse is equal to determinant of A adjoint of A, we get the value of P inverse matrix. Now we put this value in this formula. On solving this we get this. This is our final answer. Now this is very important matrix for any competitive exam, because this may be come in TIFR exam in this year maybe. Axis rotation matrix for two-dimensional. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. If we rotate these axes by some angle phi, then it's become new coordinate p x dash y dash, and their axis shift through an angle phi, and the new axis become x dash, I dash and y dash and j dash. Now position vector OP, we can write xi plus yj for old coordinate. Now for new coordinates, OP vector is equal to x dash, I dash, y dash, j dash. This is a new vector. For finding the value of x dash, we use this figure symmetry and get x is equal to x cos phi plus y cos 90 minus phi, and similarly for y dash we get this value x cos 90 plus phi plus y cos phi. On solving these equation we get these two equation. In matrix form, we can write this like that. If you multiply this term, you will get the previous term, and this matrix is called rotation matrix and denoted by R phi for two-dimensional. Rotation matrix are orthogonal. That means it's having determinant plus minus 1, but in this case is plus 1. R phi is called angle of rotation. Similarly for 3D, in this case we take z axis as a fix and take xy plane. When we shift this x axis and y axis some angle phi, the new axis become x dash, I dash, and y dash and j dash. Now using this figure, we calculate the value of x dash is equal to x cos phi plus y cos 90 minus phi plus z cos 90, and similarly for y dash and z dash. On solving this equation, we get this equation, and we can write this equation in matrix form like that. And this equation, this matrix is called rotation matrix Rz phi for xy plane. And similarly for, we can calculate this rotational matrix for yz plane Rx phi, and similarly for xz plane. Now vector rotation matrix, if we rotate this this point P some angle phi, then x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta. Now new coordinates after shifting become x dash and y dash. These are old coordinates. These are old coordinates and these are new. Using trigonometric identity cos a plus b and sin a plus b, we solve this equation x dash and y dash and get the value of x dash and y dash. This we can write this equation in a matrix form like that, and this is called vector rotation. And axis rotation matrix is also orthogonal matrix, and in this case determinant also is plus 1. For three-dimensional case, we can find Rz phi taking z constant, z take fix z axis, and similarly for fixed x axis, and now similarly for fixed y axis.